Yo, it's your boy AncientAlbatross here again by himself, flying solo tonight, dying a little on the inside, but we got a very special show tonight. Before we get things going, just as a quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us here on Twitch, subscribe to us over on YouTube, and we really appreciate all the support we've gotten so far. And one more quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the Anywhere door from Monty Cook Games. It is a brand new streaming realm on the Moonbeam platform that they are trying to get funds for, to have a nice fund for streamers, to pay streamers to come and do things, Cypher related things on their realm. And of course to get things going over there. Yeah, we're also here to celebrate the release of my book. Not the release, but the Backerkit drop of the Entropic Isle. And yeah, if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out now. You can still get in for that 48-hour reward, the early bird backer reward. It's a PDF with 4 items, 2 ciphers, 2 artifacts, brand new, that you can use either with the Entropic Isle or with Cypher System, any other Cypher System game. And now that I've gotten the intro out of the way, let me go ahead and take my glasses off here. We're getting a little more personal, because it's just me solo, doing something on my own. And yeah, eyesight makes that important, or eye contact I should say. So yeah, let's just get down to business. We are here to talk about the Entropic Isle and to play some solo play. I'm going to keep things real simple. I always like to be transparent. I don't have a ton of experience with solo play outside of my head. I have not played much. I have theory crafted a bunch of things, and I've played a little here and there, but a lot of it is just theory crafting up here. So keep that in mind. Sorry for the unregistered thing there. I do not have the paid version of this thing I'm using to mirror my iPad. And we'll be using that for notes. I think it'll last like 30 seconds, so not too bad. But yeah, as let me just read the intro here, just to get things going. I did read in my little ad. I should have had a link ready for that, but let me go ahead and set the mood and read this little intro here. There was no rhyme or reason to if or when someone would be favored by fate and become touched by the divine. Some are born with their magical abilities, while others gain them later in life, while others spend their whole lives shunned by fate. The Chaos God hid among humanity, drinking in the madness they'd begun. Eventually, they will consume enough chaos to become all-powerful, reshaping the world and reality in their image. With the gods dead and unable to answer prayers, divine-powered mortals called wielders took matters into their own hands. This was almost 1,000 years ago, and the world is a much different place now. The Chaos God's presence in the realm is common knowledge, as is their growing power. No one knows how to stop them or even how to find them, and simply most simply don't care to. Much of the land lies in ruin, with few kingdoms and city-states remaining, ruled by powerful wielders. It is a mostly lawless land, but the wielders maintain order within and near the borders of their territory. This is the chaotic world you were born into, and in this world, a person's experiences shape their foundation. So, what have you gone through? I don't know how much it's actually different from what's in there. Yeah, the iteration is all over the place. But yeah, you're in a world where the Chaos God, there's a pantheon of gods. He destroyed the heavens, killed the other gods, and spread their magic across the world. So yeah, that's you, and you play these wielder PCs. So let's go ahead and proceed here to the character creation section. Oop, that's not it. Oh, I was already there. There we go. Boom. All right. So at the moment we have 8 archetypes. And again, this is how you would go through character creation, hopefully in the final product of the book. But we're going to go through character creation. We're going to, again, this is solo play, so we're going to do everything from scratch. Yeah, the way this is set up is actually perfect because there's a lot of rolling. So yeah, first let's figure out what our archetype is. We roll a d8 here just to figure that out. I got my d8 ready. Woo! And thank you for the sub, Jesus. 3. So 3 is the Chaos Slinger. Scroll down there. So the Chaos Slinger. Of all the wielders, the fates favor them the most. The ether imbues them with potent chaos magic, making them very powerful allies or very feared foes. They start with magic training. You are trained in the basics of magic. You have an inability in might defense. You have a special thing called Chaos Magic Surge. You start the day with 2 random abilities from the Chaos Magic table. They are level 1 unstable ciphers that don't count towards your cipher limit. If unused, these ciphers disappear as new ones take their place after a 10-hour recovery. And that's just to simulate, like, again, chaos flows through their veins, so they're busting through from the seams with chaos magic. Just like every other type in the Cypher System, we have starting stats here. For the Chaos Slinger, it's 669 for might, speed, and intellect. The edge of 1 in your choice, and 6 points to distribute. You also start with 1 edge. That is not present here at the moment. Oh my god, I'm such a mess. But yeah. So for our character, we're just going to compile it in a simple note form here on my Notion. So we got Chaos Slinger. We know magic training. I could spell out what that is, but I'll just leave it. We know what magic training is. We have, well, inability is a skill. We'll group all those together. I guess this can all go together. Might, def, and inability. And then we have, I'll add Chaos Magic Surge here in a bit. But let's proceed. I'll worry about edge and all that other stuff later, because I always like to distribute my points personally once everything else is selected. Then I can figure out how I want to put my points to kind of like make my character make more sense. Yeah. Next thing, how did you discover your affinity for magic? All these characters, all the archetypes have a little background table, so to speak, and you roll a d6 to figure out what your thing is. Or you could just make it up yourself. This is just to help you. You don't have to use this, but let's go ahead and use it. 4. I drank a potion brewed by Davia. So Davia is, just to flesh out some stuff, she is a witch that lives in a place called the Hexwoods. And the Hexwoods is a place that seems weirdly unaffected by the magic and chaos going around. And Davia, whenever you speak to her about stuff, she just says things are fine and they're how they should be. She's quite enigmatic, whatever, and quite beloved by the woodland creatures and the things that reside in the Hex Woods there. The woods basically protect her. Her little shack is somewhere hidden in the Hex Woods. So, we got our powers from drinking a potion by her. Let's just add that. Drank potion brewed by yeah. And we can kind of say what that means. Flavor out what that potion is. It's not super important. I would flavor that more later when I have more abilities selected. And again, sorry, this is such a hot mess of a stream. As Chaos Slinger, though, you also start with 2 abilities. You start with your basic ability, which for them is Onslaught. Nice, simple. Pretty much all the magey types use an Onslaught. So, yep. And then you also have your ultimate ability, which is a very powerful one-off ability that basically always succeeds, almost always, case by case. But they kind of bend or break the rules a little bit and let you do some really fun and interesting stuff. So for the Chaos Slinger, we have Spirited Dualcast. Lets you use 2 abilities in a single action without spending any activation cost. These abilities have the added benefit of 1 free level of effort. This effort does not count towards your maximum effort. And for each ultimate ability, you normally can only use them once a day, but if you roll a d20, or excuse me, you have to roll a d20 after you use this. This doesn't affect whether you hit or whatever. This is just your ultimate refresh roll, so to speak. So you roll d20, and if you roll 20, you get the added benefit here. Add an additional free level of effort on both abilities, and this ability becomes available to use again immediately. Otherwise, this ability can only be used again after a 10-hour recovery roll. Yeah, so quite powerful. Basically, we got dual cast, with some, it gives us some free effort on there. So let's go ahead and add those things to our list here. We have Onslaught, which we know costs 1 point. And then we have Spirited Dual Cast, which is Alt. And I can add that text here because I don't want to refer all the way back to this every single time. So let's just copy that. Hopefully it copies okay. Oh shit. I guess that's okay. I'm not too great at using this thingy here. Notion. Oh, what the hell is this? It looks like we got some spam. Alright, cool. Alright, so we got Spirited Dual Cast on here. Now let's go back to the character thing. And yeah, we got Onslaught, we got Spirited Dual Cast, and that is it for this section. Then we proceed. I really should have bookmarked this or hyperlinked or whatever. I'm such a clown. But yeah, this stream meant to be pretty chill. Next thing here, we got our descriptors. Notice descriptors, plural. Yeah, that was hilarious. Dean, Eric, and Dean. You sending bots in here, Dean? But yeah, in the Entropic Isle, you have a character sentence, but it is more to aid role-playing. So there are no mechanical benefits here. This is strictly just to flesh out your characters, personality, and how you might roleplay them. Again, this is optional as long as you have some sort of thing here, like positive, negative, bad habit. As long as you have those things on your sheet, you can either make them up or whatever. Like, this is a just recommended list. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll out what our guy is going to be like. First one's 20. What the hell is that? 19. Sorry for the blurry camera. My camera's trash. So loyal. They are loyal. I can probably just keep rolling and go write them all at the same time. So loyal and call out of 10. Loyal. Lazy. I love him already. He's basically me. I'm very loyal. I'm very lazy. And then the bad habit. 10. Makes impulsive decisions. Are the dice just making me right now? Like, what's happening? What is happening here? The stream was an impulsive decision that I decided to do on stream. This whole book was an impulsive decision. Nah, I've been working on this book for almost a year now at this point, so definitely not impulsive. But either way, let's go write those 3 things down before we forget. Let's add another dash here. Sorry for the lack of a character sheet. I didn't make a form fillable one, and this was just easier to reference while playing. So Rosaroo, we're loyal, lazy, and we make impulsive decisions. Yeah, I have the huge text just so people can read it. Oh shit, is it too big? I made it too big. Here we go. We gotta present it here. There we go. Better. All right. Was Omega Dean is actually a superhero? Wait, you're a villain in your own game, Dean? Why would you do that? See, I'm turned around now. All right. In true Cypher System fashion, you know, most of the time, or all of the time, your characters start with some skill trainings and sometimes an ability within normal Cypher System. In the Entropic Isle, however, you start with, you know, we already have some skill trainings and abilities from our archetype, and then to further flesh that out, we roll twice on this list here. and one will be a skill training, and one will be an inability. I'm not going to decide. The first one will be the training. The second one will be the inability. So we are trained at what, 7? Deception. Okay. We're trained at that. And then we have an inability. 19. No, 10 again. What? I might need to get another freaking silicon dice. It's rolled 10 million times already. Geography. I'm bad at geography. Which is fine. Inability of deception. I would definitely re-roll the second one if it was the same. This is bothering me how this text is laid out, but it doesn't matter. So we got our 2 skills, added them to our sheet, and let's proceed. But you see here, and it's noted at the top here, or you should be able to read it. In the Entropic Isle, you can also have a skill detriment, which is kind of the flip side of specialized, where if you got 2 of the same inability, it stacks and becomes a detriment. We got lucky and we did not roll a detriment here. Yeah, so that is definitely a thing that could happen. So be wary. And again, just like with specialized, it just hinders that task 2 steps. You're really bad at it. You are terrible at it. But let's proceed. And you can't think your survival thus far solely on yourself. There are a few things that helped you greatly along the way. So we rolled twice on this. These are our starting items. Nothing crazy, more like misc items. Yeah. It's not like ciphers or anything like that. Not artifacts. Just flavorful items you might have acquired on your ventures thus forth, henceforth, whatever. 16. So we have a portable cooking pot. I like it. We can cook stuff. And we got, I'll call that a 9. Definitely looks like 9 on camera too. And then a 9. Compact grappling hook. Alright, so we have, let's add that up here over our abilities. We have I'm just going to write grappling hook. Grappling hook and a portable cooking kit. Perfect. Those are just things. So my guy likes to cook, and he's quite sneaky. Why does he have a grappling hook? What is he getting into? Weapon table. So your starting weapon's always random. You don't get to choose what your weapon is, and the reason for that being is I should have gone on the rule changes at the beginning. Fumble. We'll go over that before we dive into actually playing. But in the Entropic Isle, you don't have to worry about your weapon training. I'm laughing at what Jesus said. But instead, anybody can use anything, ranged, melee, light, medium, heavy. You can use it without any penalties, and you still get the added benefit of if you're wielding a light weapon, your attacks are eased. And if you're using a heavy weapon, it's still a 2-handed weapon. Yeah, so let's roll out and see what our weapon is. 6. So we got a heavy. Blunt. It should be melee. Yeah, heavy, blunt, melee. I just got a staff. Cool. Chaos Mage started with a staff. Amazing. Giant staff. Great staff. And that's 6 damage. Heavy. Nice and easy. And the fun part. Chaos magic has found you. You are a wielder. What has fate gifted you with? Let's find out. Wait, what did I write? For any reason, none of Oh, Chaos Calamity. So this is a fun part that I really enjoy. Again, I got this from I think Troika does this. I think Merkborg does this. I forget if they're optional or all the time. But when you go and use your magic, specifically in this book, your chaos magic, if you roll a 1 when using it, things can go horribly wrong for you. You then have to roll on the chaotic calamity table to see what happens. A lot of it is not nice stuff. I really enjoy that aspect though. Makes you think twice whether you want to use magic in a situation or not. Not think twice, but whether you want to push the envelope or whatever. Whether you want to keep it on the forefront and be very risky. It's really up to you. There will be ways to use magic without worrying about the chaotic calamity roll, and that would be through the spell casting rules. Instead of being optional, they will be baked into the actual rules of this. So you will be able to basically culminate a spell book in which you can cast via the spell casting rules. And just as a quick rundown of that, instead of using being a regular ability, they become magic spells that you cast using your recovery rolls or taking 10 minutes to cast them. They become ritualistic kind of if you don't want to spend your recovery rolls to do that. I like that trade-off within the Entropic Isle because again you can go for chaos magic, which you might kill yourself or worse, or not worse, but might mess yourself up or worse. And what you call it, and then with the spell book, you can be safe. You know, you can cast that magic without worrying about chaotic calamity, but you can only do it maximum 4 times a day, or it's going to take you 10 minutes to cast that spell. I like that dichotomy there of having both those available. Spell casting magic is not in character creation, so that would be something you learn as you go. I may create an archetype that starts with spellcasting magic just to have it, you know, visible as to see what it's kind of like on a character. But you know, to start off with, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I kind of have that idea for White Mage, which is one of the stretch goals for the book. If for our first stretch goal, we are adding 2 new classes: the White Mage, WIGHT Mage, and the Monk. The Monk's gonna have a different name, but I just called it Monk just because most people have a good idea of what a monk, quote unquote, is. Yeah, I kind of got sidetracked at talking about chaotic calamity and spellcasting, but let's find out what our magic is. And a D60, or excuse me, yeah, a D66 is 2d6 rolled in order. So you pay attention to what the order is. I mean, if you want to pay for my flight, I'll do it. So let's roll 2d6 in order. So we got 2 and 2. It slipped out of my hand, but fuck it, 2, 2. And 2, 2 is Perfect Stranger. Cost 3 points, and you alter your posture and way of speaking and make a small but real alteration to an outfit, such as putting on or taking off a hat, reversing a cloak, or so on. For the next hour, or as long as you keep up the alteration, even creatures that know you well don't recognize you. All tasks related to hiding your true identity, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and copy that, because I don't want to remember that whole thing. Put that over here. And then I can whoop and not put it on the side of this. Oh, it's Giganto. There we go. Can I stretch it? Oh, there we go, learning. All right. I don't care that it's not really lined up. Oh shit, my thing went sleevies. Sorry. I guess it goes idle pretty quick. I should just doodle something every now and then. Is it connecting? God, I hope it reconnects. Okay, it did. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. Hey, Zeal. Welcome, welcome. I kind of lost track of what I was doing. Oh, yeah, we got Perfect Stranger. That is our Chaos Magic. I should definitely specify that. Chaos Magic. Sorry if you can't really read the Perfect Stranger text there. Um, I don't want to make everything too big. Sorry, I at least want y'all to be able to read it a little bit. Bruh, why is it breaking up like this? I'm about to give up. You know, you know what? We're just chopping it up. We're just chopping it up just like the other side. YOLO. I don't care. I just want it to be readable. So yeah, that is our cart starting Chaos Magic. Oh, I'm losing it. Yeah, where we got Perfect Stranger, which is kind of funny because we're trained in deception. So we kind of got a sneaky guy and a grappling hook. We kind of got like a sneaky guy without even trying. Um, Interesting. And yeah, remember as a Chaos Slinger, we start each day with 2 random Chaos Magic. So we want to keep that Chaos Magic list handy. That is basically ciphers for us. Uh, yeah. And I think there's not much more left here. As you see, I got a whole bunch of stuff. D66 list, which I believe comes out to 36 different abilities, but they're all from the Seesaw. I like to be transparent. I just picked ones I really like. Some of them are even ciphers that I really like, hey, you can have that as an ability instead, like Reality Spike. Sleep, I think, is, yeah, either way. All of these are either repurposed ciphers or abilities I liked a lot. And this list of 36 is only a suggestion. We can, or you can, I should say, alter this list to be whatever you want. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, you can change every single entry to your own design, or, you know, your own Seesaw populated list or whatever. Sugarfoot, what is even happening in chat right now? The only Sugarfoot I know is from King of the Hill, and it's an eatery owned by none other than Buck Strickland. He says it like that, Sugarfoot, but it's spelled regular Sugarfoot. Fucking getting sidetracked like crazy. Yeah, well, let's take a quick peek at the Chaotic Calamity table since we're here on the page. And yeah, as you can see, it's some pretty bad stuff. As you see, number 1, you just kind of die. Some of the stuff transforms you, some of the stuff makes you weaker permanently, like reducing your stats, or some of them is just losing experience. This is not final yet. These entries may change, but we're sticking with it for now. But yeah, I think it's a pretty fun way to add a little danger to Magic, which again, I saw it used in Troika and Merkborg in this way. And I love it, so here we are. here we are. Since what is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Another change is how advancement works. You don't really advance normally. I'm just going to talk about it because it's on the next section of the book here, and then we'll dive into some solo play. I don't think we'll advance, or maybe we will, just to show what it's like. I'm not going to go super into detail because it would take time. But essentially just roll against all your stats as you advance. I would recommend doing every stat at the same time. Just because I like milestone advancement. Like, I just like, hey, you tiered up, just do everything. But doing it advancement by advancement, a la like Cypher System Raw, where you just what you call it, or you do each particular category as you go. Whether you charge experience for not, that's up to you at your table. As part as raw, which is kind of funny to say raw because it's my book, but as part as raw, I say make it milestone, so players can have fun with their experience. And then with milestone, you can choose whether you want to have them do all the advancements at one time, or pick and choose where they get stronger or get better at a time, one at a time. And yeah, just real quick, you would roll, like, let's say I know 4 skills and I have 3 trainings and 1 inability, that would put my total skill count to 2. When I go to advance, let's say I want to advance my skills, I would roll a d8 against that. If I roll a 2 or higher, I learn a new skill. And it's very similarly set up for all the other stats. The only stat that always goes up would be your HP, or excuse me, your stats. You'll always get 4 stats, 4 stats to distribute as you see fit. Yeah. I see here. Optional. Do all advancements at the same time. Whew. And then one last thing, because this is going to become relevant in solo play. There is a chaos countdown. The world changes. Again, if you've played over Red Merkborg, you can tell this is directly inspired by that. The chaos magic, or excuse me, the chaos god is getting stronger, as time progresses, and he's changing the world, or they're changing the world reality at its foundation, starting with things here and there, ultimately cultivating in just reality being something beyond human comprehension. That's game over, quote unquote. Burn the book, you're done. Start a new game. But yeah, I made up my own little. I'm not gonna read them all. I don't actually want to read the whole thing even or show it off. So just quick, you've got quick screen capture. There you go. That is a list of 36. I believe Merkborg had the same number, but that D66, I really like that number, D66. So when the world changes, or to see if the world changes, at the beginning of each game day, the game master rolls a D20, and it's against starting a difficulty 1 roll. This is up for change. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to scale the rolls. Maybe you just pick what difficulty you want, like how long the world is going to last, or it'll scale. I believe here I even wrote it. It gets harder as there's PC deaths. So anytime a PC dies, the difficulty goes up 1 or maybe 2 or something like that, and then the GM has to roll against that difficulty at the start of each day. Once the world is changed 7 times, the world ends. So there'll be 6 changes to the world, and then the world ends. I'll just read the beginning here. I'm gonna poke it out the bottom. Just poke it out the bottom. And this is displayed in world, in game world. On when the Chaos God destroyed the heavens, he erected a massive stone slab monument, like mountain sized, and it's basically like biblical commandments on it that basically taunting the world, like, hey, I'm gonna change the world and this is how. And the first change, how he's changing the world, is he destroyed the heavens and distributed magic. So the first entry there is, you shall have no other gods before me, for I have toppled the heavens and killed all others, with no one to stop me, ... And then that, we go into the verses there. Yeah. I'm not going to read all of them. Maybe I'll read one random one. I don't want to even leave it displayed. But I'll even read the last entry there. And with that, I shall reshape the world in my image. Everything you know will be no more. Reality shall be my stage, with you as my audience. Yeah, he does say ... He booms from who knows where, because he's hiding. But let me just roll one random one, just to kind of give a taste, because they're very abstract, and it's really going to be up to the GM, maybe even with player input, to figure out what it means for their world when it changes. So let's roll a d66. That's 3, and I'm not going to start 3-3, okay. And 3-3 is, the Ancient One will awaken, demanding answers, and that's how the world changes. So maybe it's going on in the background, maybe it becomes a plot point, but that's how the world would change in that scenario, should the world be changing. Yeah, I think we're ready to dive into a tiny little bit of solo play, a little taste, because I won't go too crazy with it. But again, now I get to talk about how I do solo play. I like to keep things real light, like really light, as far as what I'm using. And what I'm using today is just, as you see here, I got my iPad for some quick notes. I got my Entropic Isle PDF here. Probably won't need it too much, honestly. We have our notes. Oh, I need to finish my character. I forgot about our stats and shit. But either way, I'm also using The Weird from Monty Good Games. Quite an awesome generator. It is system agnostic, though. I'm trying to drink, but I'm too busy talking. Let me go ahead and link all that stuff. So since it's system agnostic, I'm going to be using it conjunction or alongside with my GM emulator here, which is GM Apprentice deck. Someone compiled a bunch of generators, random stuff from online that is great for solo play resources, and with people's permission, put them on this website. So it's an awesome site. Use it if you try solo play, or if you want to try solo play. This is that website, that thing you see on the GM emulator. It's freaking awesome to get started, and it's basically the majority of what we'll be using for solo play. And for solo play, you'll really be using whatever you're comfortable with. As far as generators, tables, blah, blah, blah. You just want to have a pretty good set of things that you're comfortable with. Or as little as much, whatever, right? I'm comfortable with this much. I don't even need the weird, but I want to use the weird, so we're going to use the weird. I really enjoy all the tables they have. Speaking of which, let me just scroll down there so we can have that part ready. It'll load up eventually. Basically the list of I really like how they did this. Hopefully it'll load sooner than later. Yeah, see, we have oh god, you guys will not be able to read any of that. It is a list of all the tables they have present in the book, sorted by genre, what they are, so on and so forth. So if we need something quick, like let's say I need a room for my dungeon, I can quickly go into the weird dungeon section or something, bing bang boom, and we'll have something generated for us. But alongside that, with the GM emulator, the apprentice deck, where is my apprentice deck? There it is. So I have this like quite, zoomed in, not zoomed in, but compact. There's a lot of stuff going on even in just this small area, but if we scroll down just a little bit, you see there's even more stuff that gets generated here for us. So with the weird, and along with all the stuff that you see here, see, we'll have a ton of things to read, or inspiration you can reroll, whatever. We'll have plenty to get going. Excuse me. And lastly, I don't know if we'll even get to it, but I won't put it on screen because a lot of it's up here and it's not too much. I did put it in the links of the tools though. Solitary Defilement is a third-party Merkborg supplement for solo play. Has really, really good solo dungeon crawling rules. And I'm basically going to be using that within this. Not super in-depth, but again, if we get to a dungeon, if I do, depending on how long we want this to be, we may generate a tiny little dungeon and have some fun with it. But yeah, we'll see where our story takes us. And to begin our story, we will go to the random adventure generator I have written for the book. Again, meant to help as a tool for, the struggling GM. You want to play a quick game, you don't know really what to do. Or if you're in my position right now and you want to play solo play and you don't really know what to do, you can roll on these tables here and generate yourself a quick little story. I did not forget about my stats. We will be fixing those. So we start with a D12. Where is it? D12. A fish market in Shern. And Shern is the I don't want to give a whole lore rundown breakdown. There's actually not a ton of details. I put some nice juicy bits and leave most of it up to the reader. But for Shern, that is a island city or island town, fisherman port, whatever, where people congregate, or excuse me, sailors congregate, obviously, because of its connection to the ocean. However, the ocean is a loop. If you sail, offshore to the east, and you sail for 3 days, you'll just end up on the west coast of this landmass. I haven't named it, the Entropic Isle. But sailors, especially, some people just have a call to the ocean, right? They have a need to go. They've pinpointed the center of the looping sea, through many travels, many calculations, blah blah blah. So the looping sea has a center that they've pinpointed, even though they basically can't go anywhere. The chaos magic has locked them into this continent, or onto this continent. And you can assume, and it's been 1,000 years, so you've heard tales of other, like, worlds, so to speak, continents, but you don't know. But yeah, we are in a fish market insured. Sorry about all the asides here. Let me write that down. I'm gonna put it up towards the top here. Fish market insured. Then who is contacting us? Who's talking to us? Who is conveying the story? Who is driving the narrative? What is an important NPC? So on and so forth. That's a D20. Blue. That rolled off screen. We're not going to use that one. 7. Eccentric alchemist who always wears an owl mask. So we'll add that. I'm going to write weird just to save time. Weird alchemist wears owl mask. Don't worry about my typos. My notes are always riddled with typos for when I play personally. No one's going to be reading this but me, and we're talking it out. Oh, well, it should be actually... There we go. Let's make it a whole nother line. Sorry if my notes don't look too pleasant. This is just how I do things. And then let's fill out the last detail, which is what? That's D100. Basically D50, but yeah, there's 50 entries. So let's roll 2D10s and see what is what. That is 100% accurate. Typos are just chaos flowing through my veins. We got 33. Bro, I rolled 3 on the D66 earlier. And now I rolled a 33. Should I go play some threes and some lotto or something? What's going on here? So let's see what 33 is. A phoenix sighting coincides with a rise in arson. Oh boy, that's a fun one. All right, so that's the basis for our story here. And before I forget, why is it giving me a smiley face thing? I don't, what? Speed in... Yeah, fuck it, that one gets 3. The one we have starts with 669. Whoa. We have 1 edge. Oh, no, wait. My guy is sneaky, right? So I definitely want to have some speed. So we'll have the 1 edge here, speed. / 1 edge. And we also have 1 effort. Oh, actually, I need a... Yeah, fuck it. Let's put it right here next to this. Make it easy. 1 effort. We know what effort is. The reason I let people decide on each character type or archetype your edge, I forget if I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Each ability in the game, in this version of Cypher System, my version of it, in the Entropic Isle, none of these abilities have a specific ability cost. They all can be used with, you choose one ability you want, and then you pay that many points from that pool. The premise or mindset being magic, or whatever, draws from all parts of your body, all your essence, right? So whether you want to cast your spell using your mind's essence or your body's essence or whatever, it's still coming from you. And all the other things that are associated with stats, like skills, are associated with stats, and then applying effort or edge to those tasks will still be associated with a specific stat. So it's only your activated abilities, your paid abilities, that will, you can pay them however you want, and then again use effort with whichever points you want. And you can even, I forget if this is raw per Cypher System, but if you don't have enough points in a single pool, you can split the cost. You drop yourself to 0 in one of the pools, or that your first primary pool, and then you pick which other pool is gonna come off of. You can't three-way it. You can just you can't always say, how I'm gonna spend all 3 points, all 3 stats. You'll pick one, and then if you don't have enough, it'll come from another one. And so like if we're going down a damage track from taking damage, which was the mindset there. Yeah. So we got to give ourselves 6 more stats. Let's go 2, 3, and 1. Actually, nah. Let's make this one 9 and this one 10. And those will be our starting stats. And then we can keep, track of what our current pools are. Just add another little thing here. And now I think the character's fully done. Yeah. So for me to begin solo play, we how I like to get going. We basically already did that. We generated our little sentence for the how our story is going to start. We got our character. Now we can just figure out where we're starting, right? So, Fish Market and Shern, Weird Alchemist wears Owl Mask, a Phoenix sighting coincides with the rise in arson. In solo play, and I'm going to just explain my mindset a little bit as I go. In solo play, and again, these are my opinions, solo play is a lot of opinion based. It's kind of like writing a story with yourself, and then involving the oracle to flesh out answers, and then dice rolls to flesh out answers. So with our prompt here of Fish Market and Shern, Weird Alchemist wears Owl Mask, Phoenix sighting coincides with a rise in arson, we can actually even switch that up. We want to make it make more sense, right? So it's actually an alchemist who wears a Phoenix mask. Why cannot spell Phoenix? And the Fish Market in Shern, there's been a string of fires in the fish market, and that's a big deal because that's like their main export, right? So we'll flesh out the story a little bit more. There's been a string of fires there, and the weird alchemist wearing a Phoenix mask was seen there. And there was also a Phoenix sighting. The town, we would just say they all saw this Phoenix. At the same time, this alchemist was spotted starting these fires. No one knows if they're like, we can say that the head of Shern, I don't think, I do have a name for him. I'm not going to go look it up. We're going to just rename him. That's what solo play is all about. So the head of Shern, let's go ahead and pull up our generator here. Bloop. There should be a name section, maybe? If not, we're just going to give him a random name. Fuck, I don't know where it is. Fuck it. His name is this right here. Laguz. Laguz. That's the name of the rune that's displayed at the top there. So Laguz contacted us. That's the leader of Shern. And yeah, they told us, hey, or excuse me, what is the name of our character? Well, I'll just go. We can random generate it, whatever. I'll just default to one of my preferred like OC names. For mages, I like the name Shinzandra. Boom. So Shinzandra Jenkins. That'll be his last. Shinzandra Jenkins. The goose. French spy. And just as a quick reminder, because we're gonna start getting into some story progression here. What you call it? I have enabled in the chat here on Twitch audience intrusions. Costs 500 channel points. They can only be used once every 20 minutes. So don't jump the gun. Anybody can use them, but again, it has a 20-minute cooldown, and it's exactly what you think it is. You pay 500 points, which again is no money. It's just you earn it from watching the channel, and you can intrude on my solo play. You can say what happens to what's our name, Shinzandra. You can change something else about the story. It doesn't have to be focused on Shinzandra. Yeah, you guys, I trust you guys. We have a super creative community. So yeah, if you feel like intruding, go for it. That's what it's there for. Yeah, so we got a little basic premise, and all right, so now we're talking to Laguz, right? What would we want to know? What, like, so did he see where the alchemist went? Where would he have known? Like, would he have seen? Was there too much fire? You know, that's where we talk to our GM emulator. And again, a lot of this is answering yes/no questions to push the story along. So yeah, so we're asking, basically the GM, quote unquote, did Laguz see where the owl, or excuse me, the phoenix mask wearing alchemist went off to? I don't want to say it's high or low in either way, so we'll just say it's an even chance. Everything, the odds you see here are related to how likely it is you'll get a yes to your yes or no question. So I'm going to re-roll it, actually. I like to do a couple of re-rolls. So yeah, that's our question we're posing with an even chance of yes or no, whether or not he saw where this guy went. One more time. He did! Lucky us! So he did see where he went. I'm going to start using my writing notes because I'm tired of typing. All this stuff is stuff that should stay static. That's on our doc there. And time to do some writing because I am sick and tired of looking up and typing. And again, how long are we in right now? We've already been going 54 minutes and I've barely started. Don't feel bad. I know our streams are normally about an hour. I feel like I'll probably do maybe 25-30 more minutes of this just demo of solo play. Yeah, so don't feel bad if you got a dip. Thank you for coming. But yeah, we're gonna keep it going. So yes, that is a horrible looking yes. He did see where they went. So now we would ask or try to figure out where that is. Like, where did they go? Like, what direction? Where? Right. A good way to ask that would be to see what you call it. We can kind of use the generators here to give us kind of a vague answer as to kind of where he went. I think I like using Iron Sword Dwell for this. Let's roll it a couple times. And nature domain, sea cave. He went to a sea cave. So, all right. I don't know. Oh, I mean, I guess, is this game watching us? We're at Shern. Sea cave makes sense. So he Laguz explains, hey, I saw him go over the cliffs, and you know that's no man's land. You know, it's really dangerous. You know, you can climb; it's rocky enough. Um, I have to play for 8 hours straight. Get the fuck out of here. Um, but he says, hey, I saw him climb down there. You know, he had some ropes or grappling hooks or something. And yeah, so he was a sea cave. Oh, what the fuck? Sea cave. Please forgive my horrible handwriting. um, so we know where he went, right? We know which direction. Last thing usually is in TTRPGs is usually, hey, does this guy have anything for me? Like you got Laguz, or let's roleplay Shinzandra. I'm kind of a skeezy guy, right? But Laguz, what you got to like sweeten the pot? I'm gonna need some help. You know, that sounds risky going down there and fires. Like what? And with this, basically, we're trying to ask, hey, can Laguz provide us with an item? I don't want to assign a difficulty, so I'm going to use our little generator here just to this provides a number 1 through 10, I believe, with a bell curve towards 5. I believe how that section works. So we're going to go ahead and just ask the GM for a difficulty. We'll roll 3 times because that's what I like to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Difficulty 4 to see if this guy has anything for us. And as you know, Cypher System, we rolled D20 to see if it worked, right? And what do we have as skills? We have Deception. That's about it. I guess we just roll it out. I don't want to use effort right now. Your stats start pretty low in the Entropic Isle. That's on purpose. As you see, I only have a total of 27 points. So yeah, we're not gonna use any effort right now. We're gonna leave it to chance. This will be an intellect like persuasion roll. 20. Let's go. I'm so sad that my camera's blurry. I need to get a new camera if I do this more often. That's hype. All right, so we got a major intrusion or major effect. So not only does he have a cipher for us, he has an artifact for us. He has a whole ass artifact for us, right? He says, oh, 1 second. I have just the thing you need. And we're going to go ahead and go to the weird and generate something. Let's about magic. There we go. Let's generate some weird here. Weird dungeon treasures. Let's just go with that. Let's go with D100 on the G. And then we'll make an artifact out of whatever that is. 50. The legendary Jewel of Phalanx, as big as your fist. It's actually the egg of a fly demon. So he hands me this. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. He hands us, what did I say? It was so ridiculous. A Jewel of Phalanx. He tells you that. It's an ornate, spherical, looks like an opal shape, but it's giant. And it's, did it say what color it is? Jewel of, it doesn't say what color it is. We'll call it emerald colored, right? And he says, here, take this, and you know, this is what I can help you with. It's the famed Jewel of Phalanx. He says, he says to you, I have no idea what it does. Some adventurers came and they couldn't pay their tab at the inn, and they gave me this. And it looks really nice. Maybe you can figure out what it does. And he hands it over to Shinzandra. And what we'll say, as the co-GMs, this is actually an artifact that when you use it, we'll say it depletes on, we'll make it pretty, it's an egg, right? It should be pretty fragile. 1 through 10. Oh, okay, we're making this shit up as we go. 1 through 10 depletion roll. And when you use it, it actually summons, it says a fly demon, right? Egg of a fly demon. It summons a little fly demon that's gonna act as like a follower for you, a level 2 follower that has a demonic bite. And the demonic bite just does like 2 damage or something, right? But it persists, right? That's the cool thing about the artifact. Like that bug will persist, and I can keep pressing it to summon more of them if I want. But again, it breaks on a 10, or 1 through 10, it'll break. So we don't want that to happen, do we? Since it doesn't have a role to use it, just when we go to activate it to summon a demon fly, that'll be when we use the depletion roll. But yeah, I say, you don't know what it does. I slide a finger across it, in a very funny, like, almost like I'm tickling it, like trying to coax it out. And out pops, oh my god, a 3, it breaks immediately. It breaks in his hands, like the shell fumbles, but a sizable, like, golf ball sized demonic fly comes out. It's like dark red, has big bulbous eyes. And Shinzandra explains, like, he sighed, I can't believe I broke it. He tells the leader, Shern, Jacuz or whatever, Laguz, he tells him, it summons a demon fly. Like, I've seen these in my travels. Demonology or, magic training, whatever, is a strong suit of mine. So I kind of knew what it did. I'm sorry I broke it right in front of you, though. And Laguz's like, don't worry about it. As long as you take care of that alchemist, we'll be good. We'll be fine. All right, cool. And he says, is there anything else I can help you with before you go? And Shinzandra says, nah, we're good. That was more than enough. I'm, again, sorry I broke it. Like, at least he eats part of the shell. It's like, it's pretty good. You want some? He eats, like, some of the eggshell. And it's like emerald. It tastes like, there's this moss in the hexwoods. It tastes like that moss, like very earthy, but it's like good for your teeth. He tells you. So he hands over some to the leader. The leader says, no thanks. You can just handle. I got stuff to take care of here. And if he turns around and he like waves to the city, like motions to the city, showing that there's people not putting out fires but dealing with the aftermath. Like it's not actively on fire, but there's crumbling buildings, so on and so forth. So yeah, he's like, as long as you can handle alchemist, I got other stuff to worry about. And he says, thank you so much, and he walks off. So that leaves Shinzandra wondering what to do next. And again, we're gonna make this short and sweet. So he says, I'm just gonna go deal with the problem at hand. And he walks over to the far side of Shern. Takes maybe, we'll say, we'll add some travel into this. It takes about half a day or so, like 8 to 10 hours to traverse that whole island, like to get to the other side. Shern is just a small part, like it's not the whole island. Like Shern is just a big city on that island, or a big township, whatever you want to call it. So this dude is gonna hoof it. But while he's hoofing it, Shern again is a seaside town, usually pretty stormy. Is it stormy right now? Would my trip have been treacherous in any way? Just walking there would have been treacherous, or tiring, or whatever. Is the weather inclement? Let's ask our handy dandy GM emulator. Let's roll it out. Wait, fuck, where is it? Lose track of this shit all the time. Where? Oh, it's right in my face. We'll roll 3 times, and we'll say because it's Shern. And it's because we're on this island and we're walking towards the coast, there's a high chance that it's windy or rainy or something, right? So let's roll 3 times. 1, 2, 3. High chance. Yes, exclamation point. So yes, the weather is bad and something is happening. That exclamation point means it's a very yes. Like, it is pretty dangerous. And what we can do here is we can take inspiration from this symbol here, the rune. I'm not even going to scroll down to see what it actually represents. That looks like ice to me. So it is hailing. He is dealing with very spiky hail as he progresses to the shore there, to go down into the caves. But just walking there for those 6-8 hours, whatever it is, it's probably close to 8 to 10 because of this weather. he has to do that. So yeah, we'll make a might defense roll for that trip. I'll use the, this is bad. I would use, let's say 7. That 7's high enough. We'll call this a might roll 7. It's that bad, right? I would re-roll to reset it, but I like that it's that difficulty. And I have an inability at might defense. So don't think there's any way for me to avoid this. So I'm just going to take damage. I'm fucked. Like, I just take ice damage. And from the hail falling, we'll go ahead and say it's pretty heavy hail, right? I'm going to leave it up to chance, up to the GM, quote unquote, and he's going to roll a d8 to see how much damage my dude takes, how much might damage getting hit in the face and arms and shit with hail takes him. And we'll 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. It was 858, bro. The GM does not want my character to make it. So we go back to our notes here. That's all of our might. Oh, we can't forget what our max might is. We can't forget what our max might is, right? No, it's spiky. It's big. Like, this is bad hail. It's, yes, exclamation point. Me, when I'm playing solo, I like to push the extremes, right? I don't see exclamation point super often when I roll on that little likely table. So we're gonna say that is some big ass, like almost softball sized hail, spiky like hail. And again, you have, Shinzandra has his staff. What else did he have? He has his portable cooking. He has a pot, like he's holding one of his portable cooking pots over his head. It's just not enough. So yeah, he's taking, there's no even roll here. He's just taking damage. He took 8 damage. He's takes a chunk off of his like shoulder, and he's running, and we'll see if the GM wants to be generous in this situation, because it's deadly, right? Towards the shore, this dude is gonna need to catch his breath or whatever, right? Is there anywhere he can do that amongst this hail, right? And 10 hours is pretty long, right? Did the hail persist to the end of my travel, right? Let's find that out first. We can take an action recovery roll just to make sure we're not impaired anymore, because now we're down to damage track, right? We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. So before the GM throws anything more crazy at us, just as if this was a regular game with a GM, I would say, hey, can I take my recovery roll now? And we're going to go ahead and take our action recovery roll. We'll take a d6, roll that, bloop. 4 plus 1. Oh, wait, it's not on camera. It doesn't count. 5 plus 1. So I recover 6 points to my might as we get to the shore, the cliffside. And as we get there, has the hail died down? Has the hail slowed down? Let's find out. We'll say it even. We'll calm down a little bit. It's been a while. It's been like 8 to 10 hours. We can say the hail calmed down and just turned to rain or something. We'll call this an even chance of yes, because I don't want to be nice and say low chance. Or excuse me, a high chance of yes. We'll say it's an even chance that the hail has stopped. 1, 2, 3. So the hail has stopped. Now it's just raining and windy. Nothing too crazy, right? GM Emulator was nice to us. So Shinzandra found a pretty okay place to not rest for the night or anything, but catch his breath, whatever, lean against a tree, get his bearings, right? And then we have the fun part. We're going down the mountainside, or excuse me, the cliffside. And as Shinzandra gets to the edge there, he takes a peek and he's like, what? And this is like a fall, like a sheer 100-foot to the crashing rocks below situation. And does he have any negatives here? No, he's lazy. No one will be loyal to. Impulsive decision. This was an impulsive decision for sure. But again, he's gonna be lazy about this and take his time, really figuring out what he's doing, how he's approaching the situation, catching his breath. as am I. And then, let's ask our handy dandy GM here. What? Instead of troop, can we say one? I'll let you decide that. All right, we'll haggle on that. Oh, I forgot I made it 666 points. Oops. So they have the hail machine. That one shark gorilla has the hail machine, and on top of that, right, this gives me a nice handy opportunity to whip out the creature generator that I have created for this. We'll just use it for stats and stuff. Do I not have it on here? I'll be very upset if I didn't put that in this document. There we go. So we'll decide its stats randomly. Does that sound cool? Or, ideally we would have a stat block for the thing you're throwing at him, but I think this is a good compromise. We're doing solo play. We'll just figure out his stats with this thing here. Figure out his armor, his damage, all that shit. But it is a shark gorilla that is holding a hail machine. And we'll say, this abomination, so one guy, we'll say it's a person who got transformed through chaos, some means, so he is a human, or was a human. It has thought, it's sentient, it's thinking, is what I mean. But actually, we'll leave that up to Jesus. Is it thinking, or is it a creature, like a monster? I'll let you decide that while we roll out the stats. Its HP is 6, so that'll be 8 HP. Let me write that down. Oh, whoops, my color changed. 8 HP. They do. Oh, did not land on the camera. 4. They do 16 damage. That kind of makes sense for a hail machine. I might need to make better scaling for that. But either way, do they have any armor? We're leaving it. It does 16 damage a hit. That's just what it does. And it has 2 armor. Bruh. Those stats actually make sense for a shark gorilla, so I'm not even mad. We can figure out what its specialty is and what its weakness is. We'll even do that. Weakness is... it's slow. Overall level -1. We'll take that. It's slow. Slow. And we already know what it is. It's a gorilla shark. And its specialty. Hailing machine, whatever, that runic device that produces copious amounts of shattered chunks, large chunks of ice, presumably powered by some magic. But the thing itself, what's special about it? 4. Heavily armored, +2 armor. So it has 4 armor, actually. Woo. So, since we're co-GMing this, and Jesus, since you're the one who presented this, is this a surprise, or do I see him coming? Like, is he approaching me? Like, do I get some kind of, the Shinzandra, get some kind of leeway here? Like, again, we can ask the GM emulator, like normally I would if I was playing by myself. But since you're the one who put forth the intrusion, we will say, yeah, it's up to you. Is this a surprise round, or am I gonna have a chance to do something before it reaches me? And while he types something, and if he doesn't type something soon enough, I'll just ask the GM emulator. Okay. Alright, so I get to see it coming. Thank you. Excuse me, Shinzandra thanks you. So, sees him coming. It's hailing. This thing is holding this. We'll call it like it looks like a what are those things called? I'm so dumb. T-shirt gun. I don't know why I blanked so hard on that. It has like a t-shirt gun, but it's kind of like spraying just, hail. It's like covering. Um, it will say again, as us as the GM, quote unquote, we know that it can target someone with it, and it will just be a blast of that, and it'll stop being all around. And I guess now that we're closer to the like starting area, we're not enveloped in it anymore because we're pretty close to like the cone, so to speak. Like unless he starts spinning or something, whatever, right? So he's approaching us with his gun. He's currently spraying it about, so we're still enveloped in it until he actually engages us, right? But we have a moment to wait to like, whoa, he's coming. He sees us. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right, so we got 1 XP from that intrusion. I'm not gonna use any XP now, but I'm just saying we have 1 XP. Because that was an intrusion, and I haven't given myself any at all. So he has 1 XP. Give him a little way to, if he rolls bad, he can re-roll once. But either way, how could our guy here deal with this impending thing? He could run away. And this is where like kind of the fun of solo play happens, right? Like we're in this situation now, and now how do we deal with this? We got to remember 2 things. We have this as our kit, right? You can see the player, my player stuff here, right? On top of that, we need to figure out what our 2 our Chaos Surge magics are, because we have 2 spells we don't know right now. Let me go to the Chaos Magic table. So we have 2 of these. So let's roll 2, D66, 3. I'm not doing 3 again, bro. These dice are rigged. 2, 1. So that's 1, and then we have 3, 4. So 2, 1, and 3, 4 are like ciphers for the day. Our chaos magic that flows through our veins, 1 use like magic, right? And because it's chaos magic still, they're still prone to chaotic calamity should I roll badly while using them. So we had 2, 1, which is, we have time loop. Call yourself from a few moments in the future to help you in the present. I'm not gonna read that whole thing, but we have time loop. And then we also have a 3, 4, which is Evanescence. I should probably rename that. I did not pronounce that right. Stepped in shadows or behind cover, and everyone who is observing you completely loses track of you. Although you're not invisible, you can't be seen until you reveal yourself. He's using that immediately. He is popping that like, if we were doing this correctly, quote unquote, we would have known this already and he would have just popped it. He's using that right now. So he's going into his mind thinking about what can I do, what can I do, what can I do? And he remembers, oh, the blessings of the fates. They're still upon me. I haven't used them. And he remembers that he has time loop and evanescence. Evans? Go invisible in his mind's eye. So he's gonna go ahead and use that, right? And to use that, he's gonna roll a d20. Boom. And everyone who was observing you completely loses track of you. That's awesome, right? So now that Yeti or whatever, shark gorilla, gorilla shark, wearing a turtle shell is gonna completely lose track of me, or Shinzandra. But the question is, will I suffer any side effects from it? 9. We're safe. No chaotic calamity on that one. So yeah, Shinzandra poofs, turns invisible in the moment, in the spot, I mean. What is the exact description? Although you're not invisible, you can't be seen until you reveal yourself again by moving out of the shadows or from behind cover, or by making it. So I can't move anymore. I'm stuck right here where I'm like in place. I can't move. If I move, it breaks the illusion. So now this thing, I assume, sees me, just kind of vanish, like lose track of me, maybe a big chunk of ice went through like its field of vision or something, and it can't see. It's gonna keep approaching me. There's no reason for it not to. I was at a cliffside. There's only so much place I could go, Shinzandra could go, so the shark gorilla would still approach that area. So he's still approaching, just, and since he's not targeting me or since he can't really focus on me, he's kind of just spraying hail around, right? Since we already decided this was a very difficult roll, it's not going to change. I just get wailed in the face. I take 8 damage. Wait, does breaking the damage, does getting hurt break it? No. It says I have to step from behind or... Yeah. So that's going to happen. I take 8 damage. Oh no, 16 damage. Wait. What did we say the hail does? The hail machine, because we said it's holding a hail machine. The hail was doing 8 damage before. The hail will continue to do 8 damage. This 16 damage is the damage it deals itself. Like, if it gets close enough to fight me, that's the damage it will deal. Just to stay consistent. I'm not being a coward. We're staying consistent. I swear. If we want to stay ultra consistent, we'd roll a d8. But I'm just going to say it does 8 damage, just to say extra consistent with what it did before. So, sprays around, boom, chunks him in the face, takes another 8 damage, goes down the damage track again, and actually loses some speed in the transaction. It's not looking good for this guy. But the thing still approaches, right? And that's what's the important part. It's getting close enough for Shinzandra to do something about it. And as it gets closer, we're gonna go ahead. We want to eliminate. Well, again, we want to be fair, whatnot. Right now, when we're solo GM, right? We'll ask the I guess the GM emulator. I guess that's a good way to do it. Is it close enough to engage, like, quote unquote, like short range? We'll call that. Is it in short range yet? Because it wouldn't be walking fast. Maybe it is. What you call it? Did we say that it's smart? Did you say that it was smart? I forget. But either way, it's still going to approach me for whatever it's either wants to eat me or whatever, right? We'll ask the GM, hey, is it upon me yet? And we'll say high chance of yes, because it's hungry or whatever its motivators are. 1, 2, 3. It is upon me, thankfully. So we'll say now that it's gotten within slightly closer range, and this is what's going to, like, start combat, initiative, whatever, right? Is it getting close enough? Shinzandra goes and aims his onslaught at the shark gorilla's gun, his ice hail gun, to kind of disable it or break it or whatever before he gets too close. And then things will kick off because I won't be invisible anymore or hidden, whatever. To decide the role of that, we'll decide what level it is. It is slow, so it'll be -1. I'm scared to use the number generator, so we're gonna go ahead and use the D6 generator just to give my guy a fighting chance in hell, because at most it'll be 5. If we want to give it a little oomph, we'll say this +1, or I guess that kind of gets rid of slow. But either way, we roll D6. We don't want to get too crazy. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we'll say it's slow. It's difficulty 3. Again, this hail machine is something different. Like, aside from, like, the way the hail hits you, just from how we've been doing it, that hail just is a might defense roll that, you gotta, whatever, we're being consistent. That's very key in solo plays, being as consistent as you can, or at least in my opinion. So it's level 4 or level 3. Why does my text keep changing to black? Level 3. So to hit the gun, we'll call that a called shot. That's going to be a little bit harder to do. So he'll onslaught it one step harder, difficulty 4, to kind of knock it out of his hands or break it or whatever, right? Well, let's roll d20 for onslaught, and I think in my book I made onslaught do 6 damage. I tweaked some numbers here and there. So onslaught does 6 and then 4 like mental. So we'll see if he hits. Oh shit, that did not. Fucking, why is this so hard? 8? 8 does not hit. Oh my god. Do I want XP? I'm using XP. I'm using XP to reroll that. We need to knock that out of his hands. That's oh yeah, I don't want him. I don't. But remember, Gus, the flip side is if enemies have onslaught, they're also doing damage. But yeah, let me use my 1 XP that I have and reroll that because I definitely want to hit a stupid fucking gun out of his hand. Maybe I'll use effort on this too. Yeah, let's use some effort. Let's use some effort too. We definitely want to hit this. So that'll be int, or excuse me, I'm using my speed to cast onslaught. That is coming from my speed essence, right? Well, onslaught is free though because of my edge. I have 1 edge in it. But to use effort, I'll use 3 speed. Oop. Drop that to 5. And we're going to make it easier to hit, dropping it down to a 3. Because we're pretty messed up right now. Like, we're in a freaking tough spot. We need to end this ASAP. Or get away or something. But we really need to knock that shit out of his hands. Because this guy might just Shinzandra might just be dead soon. Oh my god. Come on. Roll down the lane. 6? Come on. I know it's blurry. It's a 6. It is a fucking... So he slings his onslaught, and like a big piece of hail just happens to like smack it out of the air, and it reveals Shinzandra's location, and now the big boy, Shark Gorilla throws down his, like he turns his gun towards me, like he kind of disables it, stops spraying it because he sees that I'm like kind of right there. Within shortest, like he can get to me now, and we're gonna go to initiative. So I gotta roll better than a 9 to go before him. Oh my god, come on, buddy. 17. We take those. So I at least go first, and we're gonna start off by popping a time loop, which is my other daily ability, daily magic that I can use as a Chaos Slinger. And that says, you call yourself for a few moments in the future to help you in the present. On the round you use this ability, your future self appears anywhere you choose within immediate range and takes an action. On the second round, you and your future self both take actions, and your future self's action is eased. On the third round, you and your future self both disappear. On the fourth round, you catch up with yourself and reappear where you initially were in the future. Yeah. Basically, Jesus, hit him with the noob Cybot combo. As you can see, this is kind of convoluted or strong ability, right? All the chaos magic's kind of like that, and I do have to spend the points to do it. So where can I spend 4 points from without killing myself? Int. So we're gonna spend 4 int. Drop it down to 5, and get rid of my XP because we re-rolled, and that summons a time loop copy. I'm gonna leave this open because we're gonna need to reference that. And it says, I'm taking these headphones off. I'm sweating my stuff off. Oh shit! But I think after this combat we'll be done. Yeah, this has been going. But either way, we use time loop, spend points. I don't want to use speed, even though I have the edge, because it'll drop my speed too low. And I'll need that for defense should things come to blows. Which is, again, I like this little debate I'm having with myself over this, because now me as the player, and I'm talking about like using any stat you like for your typecasting of things. Because now I get kind of like, not metagamey, but like I can kind of like really see how I want to spend my points. But either way, time loops 4 points. We got to roll the chaotic calamity to see if anything bad happens. 3. Oh my god. Okay, we're safe on that. Very, very narrowly not safe. But in doing so, time loop copy spawns. Where to say? Anywhere you choose within immediate range, so just right next to me. And he comes running in and throws another onslaught. It's almost like a rewinded, like, he just throws another onslaught because it takes an action immediately, right? And takes an action, yes. So that's my action, so to speak, is to use onslaught again through my time copy. And the time copy, he comes down and he looks at me, and I look at him, and we look at the shark gorilla thing. And the future copy goes, what? We're here again? And he looks worried. He looks very concerned to be living this moment again. But yeah, he throws an onslaught. It's like, just like before, flings an onslaught. We're just going to roll it out. There's no cost because I have the edge for it. What did I roll? Is that a 5? Bruh. Okay, so 5 doesn't hit. Future copy is like, just like before. He says to you, he says to me. Then it moves on to the shark gorilla, which is unfortunate. Shark gorilla, seeing that there is a second adversary, a copy, so to speak, another person, the same guy. He looks a little different, older, but it's definitely the same guy, right? So that shark gorilla is actually just gonna run forward and try to clothesline both of them. You know, he's a shark gorilla. He has big ass arms. He's just gonna clothesline them to hit both of them. And I'm ruling this or playing this how I would as a GM. This guy, this gorilla, shark gorilla, 16 damage divided by 2 to do an AoE. Just hit both things for 8. Yeah, he's just gonna and just kind of try to knock them down. So, does it say anything about the copy being attacked? Actions doesn't say. So we'll say if it hits, he takes full. This is kind of way to mitigate the damage, right? I can take either full damage, no damage, full damage, or half damage, depending on how well I dodge. Because he's hitting me no matter what, right? But it's being split up because there's 2 of me. I'm fucking dying. So we'll go first speed dodge for the future copy. Oh my god, roll within frame, man. Roll. Is that a 1? So, this brings us to something fun called crits in combat. And in the Entropic Isle by Raw, quote unquote, whenever you roll a 20 or a 1 in combat, you either deal a critical blow or receive a critical blow, and that's double damage. We have no more XP, and again, this is my future copy being hit. So again, we ruled it that I'm going to be taking a damage. So he's taking 16 damage. I'm taking 16 damage. How much health do I have? 10. So I think Shinzandra is donezo. I think he's dead. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this. I think he just dies. I honestly shouldn't have used the creature generator for a solo. Like, I should have used slightly smaller numbers. But that's solo play, right? That's why I like this. So, like, Shinzandra's dead. And I will be honest, if I was playing by myself, like doing like a full like actual solo campaign or whatever, session, game, whatever, I usually like to run 2 characters firstly. And well, I think that's just the biggest change. I like to run 2 characters. um I avoided that here just for ease of showing things off. um yeah, it couldn't even so it's funny enough, that time loop is not a time loop anymore. I pulled myself from the future to die, so I died here. So instead, this was just an alternate timeline, or I caused a rift in the timeline due to dying this way. Now, yeah, let's do some more storytelling, because that's what solo play is, right? We're gonna end the story here, and I can talk a little bit about we'll save that for another time. I was gonna say we can talk about dungeon crawling, like my solitary defilement, inspiration and whatnot. But let me link those tools again. But I enjoyed this. This was fun. Next time we do this, there would be less build up or whatever. We'll just go straight into character creation and whatnot, and blah blah blah. But this was a nice little demo. Sorry it was so long. I had a blast. Sorry it ended in death, or not really sorry. That's kind of the thing. Things are supposed to be deadly. In solo play, again, I would have 2 characters normally. So probably next time we'll have 2 characters to have like a little more longevity or something. Or the ability to swap quickly or something. Also, damn, I completely lost. Oh, storytelling. With the little story we're telling. So, Shinzandra dies. The shark bear clothesline decapitates both of them, the copy and the original. Their heads fly off into the ocean. They fall to the ground dead. The gorilla bear or gorilla shark rummages through their belongings or eats them. I forget if we decided they were sentient or not, but either way, eats them, takes their stuff, both, whatever. And just to do a little wrap up, the phoenix is then sighted again overhead, as the that masked alchemist climbs up the ledge there. He was actually coming out at the end of all this, and upon seeing him, the shark gorilla, they make eye contact, and the alchemist's eyes burst into flames, as does the shark gorilla, instantly incinerating it as the phoenix flies overhead to continue its path of destruction, unfettered, by anyone. Our hero was destroyed. As such is life in the Entropic Isle. But this again was a lot of fun, and I really like solo play, the style of it. Hopefully it was entertaining, hopefully informative with the Entropic Isle. I know I was a bit scatterbrained in the beginning and throughout the course. But yeah, this was a huge blast. Thank you guys so much for coming by and joining me on this. Thank you, Jesus, for the intrusion. I really appreciate someone actually did it. And just to wrap things up here, if you haven't already, be sure to go look at the Backerkit for my book, The Entropic Isle. It's going to be fantastic. I'm very excited to finish it up. It's most of the way finished. Has some polishing that needs to get finished. Some editing passes. But the, yeah, I was going to mention that after my thing, Anthony. Look at it. This guy's railroading, and he's not even, like, he can't help it. Like, he has to sign us off no matter what. Like, he can't help it. But either way, again, looking forward to the book, and a lot of the time from now until when it's finished going to be shoring up the art and graphic design. And again, my husband is doing fantastic work. You can see concept art there. I was going to say chaos art. You can see concept art on the Backerkit page, as well as from our guest artist, Martina Lit. I'm not going to say her last name because I will butcher it, but that's actually my sister-in-law, and that is her husband's last name. Hi, Yuri, if you see this at any point, and I'm sorry I can't pronounce your last name properly. But yeah, Martina is doing some guest work too, and I really love the Shambler they came up with. It's awesome. So go check it out. But like Anthony said, thank you guys so much for coming by. We really appreciate everything you've done, or you know, in regarding supporting us. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the Anywhere door from Monty Cook Games. It's a current campaign going on where they're trying to get funding for a streaming platform realm on Moonbeam called the Anywhere door. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but yeah, they're just trying to get funds to kind of make life better for streamers going over there to, you know, promote Cypher System. I honestly forget what else they're doing with the funds. But there is other things they are doing with that stuff as well. You can see it on the page there. Sorry, my mind is fried right now. I'm with the book going live earlier today, and with me messing up the live with like not getting the review done. Thankfully it got fixed, so everything was good now. But yeah, my brain is. But check out the Anywhere door, and as usual, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much. And if you like us and you like what we do, join the Cypher Unlimited Discord. It's the place to be for everything Monty Cook Games. If you're not there already, be sure to join up. You'll see more about the Entropic Isle, as well as other third-party things like Void Home and Mystery Flesh Pit National Park from our good friends Kedhup and Christopher Robin Neglin. You can also join us on Facebook. Not as big as our Discord, but still just as good. Got a lot of discussion going on there. Yeah, and if Discord's not your thing, definitely shoot on over to our Facebook group. Our videos will always be free, but you could always give us a little donation on Ko-fi. It helps us with things like our Discord Nitro and giveaways and stuff like that. And if you don't want to do that, you can also buy some stuff at our merch store. We have some logos, or excuse me, some stuff on our logos on some shirts and hats. Oh my god, I'm exhausted. And yeah, you'll see all that stuff there, and maybe soon to come Entropic Isle merch. You never know. That would be easy to do, but I have no idea what that would be. And Ko-fi, whatever. Am I missing anything? I think that's everything. Just again, one more time, if you haven't checked it out, go check out the Backerkit page to see more about the Entropic Isle. Check out when it updates as it progresses. It should be quite exciting time. So before I continue to prattle on and keep you guys here all night, because I probably could, I'm in that sort of headspace, so I'm just going to cut myself short. Thank you guys so much for coming, watching this guy. he comes and punches me and knocks me, the GM, out, and is ending the stream. So thank you guys so much for coming. This is very entertaining. I look forward to potentially making this a series, a solo play series. Not just the Entropic Isle, but anything Cypher System, because I love it. I love solo play. It's very fun. So thank you. Thank you for checking out the book. Thank you for checking out the Anywhere door. Thank you for being a part of the Cypher Unlimited community. And as usual, from us at the CU, we will see you later. Have a great night.